Hey traders, and welcome back to another video right here. I want to talk a little bit about what are some of the main pairs I'm looking at going into next year. I know right now we're at the end of the year. A lot of guys kind of shutting down, bringing things down to a minimum as far as their trading plans and this and that, or just closing out and being done for the rest of the year. I want to talk a little bit about the things that I'm looking at personally to carry me into the next year, as well as trades I'm probably going to hold on to for the remainder of all of next year. And things like Euro USD, British Pound USD, USD JPY, pretty much anything basing or countering the USD dollar, I will be in that trade or looking at a potential entry on that given pair. Like things like this right here at Euro USD. Let's talk a little bit about what previously been happening on Euro USD or what been going on against the dollar in its previous year. If you're looking at the weekly time frame like this right here, you can see since going way back here, we had somewhat of a double top, right? We had somewhat of a double top confirmation pattern that came to the downside as far as reversal. Now, these right here is very, very simple and very, very important to always look at. You see this previous touch right here, and it came right back to that same exact touch here when it went for the downside, right? So you had all this momentum pushing the market to the downside, with basically meaning that euro was very, very weak against the dollar, right? Very, very weak against the dollar when it comes to strength and weakness, right? You can see how long it's been in a downtrend for a very, very long time. This right here first started May 31st of 2021. So last year in May is when this downtrend really started to decline for quite some time. You can see the impulse, right? Correction, the impulsive move, correction, right? Every single time off of that pullback, we had another downward motion that came into the market, right? Until recently, we could kind of see a shift that's happening on the dollar in the market. Now, it's not saying that's going to be definite, but it's for sure something to look at for a future entry. Because imagine if this total downtrend, right, got retraced and went back to the uptrend. The key thing is, right, imagine this downtrend, right, goes right back for a uptrend and it lasts about the same exact length, right? For about a year or more. Think about that, guys, right? You can make a lot of money off a very simple and clean entry. So being very patient and looking at things like this as far as trades that can really carry you into next year is very, very important. Look at this perfect trend, right? As far as getting on what's happening right now, we can see recently, right? Impulse, that correction, it made a big evening star pattern right here, right? The impulse move, the correction, right? Impulse, the correction. Now, the main thing I'm looking at previously or right now is this previous level here and this break and retest right here. Now that we see a big green bar breaking above this level, think about it, right? A pullback can happen to the downside where it shifts all the way back up and then pulls back here, right? And then shifts all the way back up. Previously, right, taking out all the downtrend and going right back into the uptrend. And like I said before, imagine if this uptrend lasts as long as the downtrend, right? We can make a lot of profit. Even coming to, like, you can also just simply measure, right? From here, all the way down here is about 2,500 pips. Imagine making that back in the uptrend to the top side. Imagine whatever lot size you want to use, a 1.00, a 2.00, and so forth, right? You can ride out that trend for a crazy, crazy long time. So whatever this level, right? What I'm previously or right now waiting for is for the level to come back to the previous touch, right? So seeing this right here, I want to see price action come right back to this downside and touch this level right around here. So somewhere around 1.0113, somewhere around that level, see the pullback, see the bullish rejection. It can be a morning star, a bullish engulfing, or anything in that nature, right? As far as price action, and we can go for that buy, right? I'm going to be looking at it from the weekly, daily to the 8-hour time frame because I am looking to swing trade this, right? You can come down here like when price action action does pull back to this level, you can drop down to the 4, 3, 2, and 1 and still find a great buy entry. But I'm more looking to swing trade this. So I'm gonna be a little bit more patient as we are at the end of the year, right? We can be a little bit more patient and see will this price action, pull right back to the downside. If that happens, all you're looking for is bullish rejection, Morningstar, bullish engulfing, dojis, right? Pin bars, right? Rejection to that opposite level, which would now be a new level of support, right? We broke above the level, a previous level of resistance. We're going to try to pull back to that level, right? Which is a new level of support and make our money all the way to the top side. So it looks something just like this, right? We're looking to go long at this level, and everything in the past is going to be our new take profit levels. We'll have a stop loss just like that, right? Give me 1 second. We'll have a stop loss somewhere around there, and we'll have everything to the top side, right? We'll have TP1, TP2, TP3. So really to imagine the money that can be made, right? All the way to around that TP3, if you're swing trading this, you can make almost 1,000 pips. With a 1.00, that's $10,000. So really just add that up, right, guys? You're making a lot of money, and it's very, very simple, guys, right? You're making a lot of money, single lot sizes, not overthinking it. It's more just about stalking and being patient with the price action and allow it to do whatever it's going to do. Don't force your trades. Don't be anxious. Is wait to exactly for this pullback. When that happens, look for rejection and go for your buy, right? Now, another thing, right? We know that's how we're looking for the buy, but let's say that doesn't happen and the sell continues, right? Well, that's okay. If the sell continues, that's still perfectly fine. All you have to do is have a game plan in line to go with that, right? So let's look at this right here, okay? If price action does fall back below this level, it can pull back the same way it did here, right? Fall below, pull back, boom. So fall below here, pull back here, and that's going to be your sell signal, right? It can come about to this level here, right? That'll probably be your TP, okay? So you're looking for the sell if that happens. But if it doesn't break back below this level here, this level right here, you're perfectly fine. Most likely it's going to stay for a buy entry and keep on pushing to the top side. And that's what I want to see. I want to see price action pull back and go for that buy. I want to see the DXY start to fall. Let's go to the DXY real quickly and see how that's looking as well, right? You see the same thing I'm looking for here. I want to see that pullback come back to the previous level and then continue to that downside, right? This right here is the previous level. We recently had a big bearish bar breaking below this previous level here. So if it can pull back to that same exact one, we can look for that downward motion to come back and play, and the DXY could be in the downtrend for a long time. The main reason why I'm thinking that this is going to happen, because if it wanted to continue the uptrend, it could have done so right here. When it impulse and pull back here, how it always have done, you're seeing this touch, you're seeing this touch, you're seeing this touch, you're seeing this touch as well. So this right here was a main factor for me, right? When it came back here, it could have continued to that top side and kept going up, right? But because we had this big bearish news, which is more likely caused by fundamental, but regardless of that, seeing this big bearish bar coming to the downside, breaking past the previous levels is super important, right? It's a huge deep bearish bar, solid bearish bar, right? So right now, all we're looking for on the DXY is to see it stay below this level. If price action can stay below this level right here around 108.18, right? If it can stay below this level here, we're going to be looking for the DXY to continue to the downside. And that would be great because we're looking for the buy on EURUSD, right? We're looking for the buy on EURUSD to make all that profit to the top side. And like I said, this is going to be a swing trade. And so is other things like British Pound USD and so forth, right? The same thing going on here. If you can simply just wait and hold out and see where all these previous lows get taken back out, you can make a lot lot of money on these given pairs, guys, okay? And USD, right? These things are going to simply fall to the downside, right? It's very, very simple. You can see how I recently got it from my buy right around here, right? Because it broke out, it pulled back, it made that morning star right there. Boom, that was my entry, made the profit to the top side. Simple trades like this is a day trade, right? But you're still making about 200 pips, which is a very decent amount in a simple day trade move. But like I said, right, if USD continues to the downside, so will USD JPY as well, right? So you're kind of looking for the pullback to keep on falling, but only time would tell. Be very cautious, be very patient, and make sure you always have a game plan when it comes to your trading, right? It always has to be a very sound plan that you've been using time and time again. You can also make sure you are keeping up on your fundamentals, right? I use forexfactory.com, but there are many other ones you can use to keep track of your fundamental, to see what's going on. If there is any given pair you are trading that a fundamental might affect it, right? So be very cautious about that as well. Right now, we're at the end of the year. We got Thanksgiving, we got Christmas, we got among other different things going on. We got New Year's right around the corner. So keep in mind a lot of things are going to be happening and playing a role into the market. So just make sure you are being very disciplined with yourself and being very strict on yourself when it comes to entering your trade. If you don't see a setup, it's okay to simply just wait and allow yourself to be patient for that pair to come or appear whatever pattern you're exactly waiting for. Like this right here, I'm not going to do anything at all until I see that pullback and until I see that rejection going on in the market. I have to see that before I find my entry or have a reason to getting in for my entry. Me, myself, seeing this breakout, big breakout, looking for the pullback, that's just one part of it. Breakout is one part. The next part I need to see is that pullback. And the next part after that, that third part is seeing the price action pattern. If I can see that, boom, I can make a trade, okay? Very simple thing just like that. Breakout, pullback pattern. The same exact thing you see here on USD JPY when I went for my buy, right? And you can see breakout, pullback pattern. That's the reason I'm looking to enter my trade. The same thing you see right here, right? We see a breakout, we see a pullback, and I had my pattern on the 8 hour, which is a big morning star right here. So big breakout, pullback, pattern, entry, profit. Same thing we're looking for on your USD, right? The same exact thing. We're just looking at it on the higher time frame. Breakout, pullback, pattern, profit, right? That's how we're looking at this pair, or I'm looking for it to go, right? Like I said, if it does fall to the downside, that's okay. It can fall below, pull back, we can still find another entry and make all our money to the downside. So this right here is what I'm looking for as far as the end of the year or coming near the end of the year, being very patient, watching out for fundamentals and looking for clean price action trades. Hopefully this right here can go back to the top side and take out everything in the past as far as this downtrend. If that happens, I'm using big lots, holding my trade, and making all this profit. I'll see you next time, guys. See you next video.